This is one of the weirdest drawings I have ever done. Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode of Create This Book. If you happen to be new to my channel, I do have a few different series going on. So last week I posted a craft kit testing video. I'll post that entire series in the description box below, along with my Wreck This Journal series, which is another art book. I am alternating between these two until I finish this one, which will be finished soon-ish. Quick little update, I am going to Florida for Playlist Live in Orlando in just a few days, so if you guys are gonna be there, go ahead and message me on Twitter or Instagram and let me know, and maybe we can meet up. I'm gonna be at Disney World and Playlist Live. I'll be vlogging my entire experience, so if you are not following me on my vlog channel, go ahead and check out Live Love Sarah Lynn, subscribe, and I'll be posting vlogs there. But now, without further ado, let's get into these pages. I'm gonna be doing 3 of them. First up, I am doing a monochrome page where I choose one color and use only that color to decorate this page. I chose pink and I have this patterned scrapbook paper here, and for this I am using an Elmer's glue stick to attach the paper to the pages in the book. Yeah, not making the same mistake that I made in the first episode where my mind was just like a pile of mush for some reason and I forgot how to function in crafting art life and did this. I will never know, the world will never know why I had such a massive brain fart at this point in my life. Oh my gosh, I should have used a glue stick. Mod Podge definitely didn't work out too well. The glue stick is a much better option. It's not going to make the page bubble or crease or anything. I just put it all over the paper like so, grabbed the scrapbook page, and I like to have it hang over the edges a little bit so I can cut around after. This way I don't accidentally trim it too small by tracing around and then cutting it out before. Now I'm moving on to using a colored pencil for this part of the page here, because you will see I have a window cut in the paper for the other side and I want there to be pink underneath. So now that's all in place and I have the entire background down. It's time to start working on the actual artwork for the page, and I have these 2 sketches here. The fish is already outlined. As you can see, I did that with a black fine liner. I'm using Micron pens here, and now I'm going to outline this really fluffy petally flower, and once the ink does dry for quite a few minutes you can go in with an eraser and erase those pencil lines so it doesn't look as messy. And actually this isn't a flower, it's a flamingo. I was inspired by quite a few images on Pinterest. A lot of people will use real flowers to make a ballerina or to make a girl in a dress or to make a flamingo in this case. I think those are really, really pretty, so that's where I got my inspiration from, and I had to include the bow. In the previous episode, I told you guys I messed up on this rainbow page, but technically, I guess I did put a quote-unquote bow on the page since there's rainbow all over it. But I did go back with some black and just put bows in the instruction part of the page there. So if you do want to see that one, you know, it's in the previous episode, you can check it out. But back onto this flamingo, I am using a Crayola Super Tips marker to carefully color in the petals. It seems that if you go too quickly, even when the ink is completely dry, it might smear it a little bit, so I was trying to just be as careful as I could. By the way, the author of the book, Mariah Elizabeth, she actually used black and white for her page as well, so you guys, you know, it's up to your interpretation whether or not that is cheating, but I feel that black and white are fine to use because there's already black and white on the page. I wanted to make the flower body a very vivid, bright pink, kind of almost neon on camera, but it doesn't really appear that way in person. Then I took I almost said smaller, I guess it is because it's a brush tip, but I took a lighter pink, and this is a Recollections brush tip marker, and I used that for the neck and the head. Then I also wanted the fish to have the same colors as the flamingo because this fish is, you'll see in a minute what it's doing, but you know, it has a flamingo mask on. The color that I'm using on the fins I used on the flamingo's bow, so they match really nicely. And in the meantime, I did go around the instruction box there with a Posca paint pen, and I made these dots all around. Nothing too fancy, but I think it really brings the page together more. After that came the tedious task of cutting out these images and leaving a white border around everything. So now the whole story plays out. I thought this was a really clever idea. I know that flamingos don't really eat a lot of fish, but during my research I did see that they eat tiny fish. Sometimes they mostly eat shrimp, I believe, and there's a whole list of like little tiny organisms that they eat in water, and that is the reason that they have their pink color is from their diet. But they do eat some tiny little fish, so it does actually have some truth to it. The fish is very, very scared of getting eaten, so he disguised himself. Moving on to the second page, I chose create a page of quotes. Fill this page with inspirational quotes. The first page was a lot, so I wanted a little bit of help with this in the form of stickers, so I wouldn't have to draw everything. I wanted there to be some sort of base down that I could add onto. I have so many sticker books, and I remembered that a lot of them have quotes and inspiration in them. So I just chose 3. I do have more, but I wanted them to be kind of cohesive on the page, so there was like a slight color scheme and not too much of a variety. I go in with a colored pencil. That's what I first started out with. I made a cloud to just kind of balance out the cloud sticker, and I'm doing raindrops on one side. I'm doing flowers underneath because of the quote about rain and flowers. You'll see it at the bottom there. Then I have a butterfly flying away to bring more color to the page. And I'm on the other page, on the right hand side, I'm just kind of making borders around every single quote there. So there's a big contrast between the right and left page. The left one is a lot more full and it has more recognizable objects, subjects, whatever I'm trying to say. But on the right hand side it's just more abstract, and I want the focus to be more so on the quotes than the designs. So I did some scallops, polka dots, triangles, dashed lines, and zigzags. I put some gray flowers in the background and swirls. I could have kept adding more, but I think that it looks done at this point. Sometimes you just have to quit while you're ahead so you don't clutter the page too much. At least I just wanted the quotes to really stand out, like I said. And from far away it kind of does look a little bit bland, but I promise in person when you're looking at this, it just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. The quotes like look bigger and they look more prominent, like you can actually read them, so it doesn't look as empty in real life. Finally, let's move on to page number 3, which got kind of strange, kind of really strange. So you can see that this is create something out of nothing, draw random scribbles on this page, make something out of them. Going into this, I had no idea what was coming. I just was like, okay, I want to choose a blue colored pencil, I'm going to scribble, and then I'm going to kind of make little squiggles. So here is the completed blob, and I looked at it for probably only a minute. I didn't look at it for very long, and I noticed that there were 2 spots that kind of looked like eyeballs. So I started by filling those in with green. I'm like trying to figure out what I'm saying. Sometimes I'm very terrible at voiceovers, so yeah, not scripted. And then I filled in the nose with pink and did outlines with dark gray to like do the facial structure shape. You can see that I filled in some hair, and I did shade that with a darker blue around the edges. It doesn't really look like strands of hair, but this is going to be, as you can see, very, very, very stylized. Like, you'll see after I fill in the face. So at first, I thought that this looked like a cat, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make the fur kind of tortoiseshell. It actually became a lot more blended than actual tortoiseshell fur because those are kind of more patchy. I guess it depends on the cat. But also, I don't think they have the white cheek fur. I could be wrong. I don't know. This is a special breed. But then I added teeth in, and I'm like, this doesn't really look like a cat. And I never put the ears in. I didn't forget them. I just I didn't add them, so they're under the hair if this thing has ears. After the teeth, I thought that it kind of looked more like a rat or even a rabbit, so let me know. Ooh, or that creepy Goosebumps. There was an animal that got like mutated in an old Goosebumps book slash TV show. I forget exactly which animal that was, but it kind of reminds me of that as well. In the comment section below, let's clear up the confusion. I want to know what you guys think this most looks like, a cat, a rabbit, or a rat. A cat, rat, or rabbit. That sounds way more flowy. And then I did go back in the hair and use the colorless blender by Prismacolor, and this, if you guys don't have it, it really is a game changer. You can see it just gets rid of all the like splotchiness of the colored pencil and really blends it. It just kind of fills in all the gaps of whiteness so you don't see the page show through, which is very nice. There's a little hiccup. I spilled water as I was drinking it, so there's a little drip on the page and it made a little rip, so I did have to go in and fix that with Scotch tape. I just put it on the back and let it dry completely before I did that actually. Nothing was completely ruined, so I went back in and started to color the entire background with different colors, but I wanted to use only colors that were not present on the thing. So basically no blue and no lime green and not the same pink that was on the nose. This piece really reminds me of Picasso, kind of like a cubism style, but also is just very surreal. So I don't know, it's probably mixing quite a few different styles, but I think that the Picasso just like really sticks out in my mind, even though the face isn't split with different shapes like he normally did. Using colored pencil for the creature, I think that was a great idea because I could blend the colors really easily. But using the black one for this line in the background was a chore. Colored pencil just doesn't really flow smoothly like marker. I didn't really want to line this page though because marker does bleed through this paper. It's pretty thin. I just was like, oh, I'll use colored pencil, make this a lot easier on myself. But I don't regret using it because it does make the piece look a lot more cohesive. So here it is completed. I really like how bright everything looks on this page. I don't know if I'm maybe going to make another creature on the other side in the future, but this is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comment section below which page from this video was your favorite. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I post here every single Friday, so turn on bell notifications if you never want to miss out on a new one. Next week, another craft kit testing episode is coming, so I hope you guys are excited for that, and I see you back. Have a great rest of the day. Bye!